Earth holds realms so surreal, they make us question our own eyes. Places where color, light, and form merge into visions that seem to exist only in dreams. From Egypt's white desert, where the wind sculpts ghostly white figures across the sands, to Zhangye Danxia in China, where mountains blaze like an immense oil painting, nature reveals itself as the planet's greatest artist. From Croatia's Plitvice lakes, a wonderland of turquoise pools linked by countless white waterfalls, to Greece's Meteora, where monasteries float between earth and sky, each landscape feels like a portal to another world. From the strange stone chimneys of Cappadocia in Turkey to Torres del Paine in Chile, the Swiss Alps, and Japan's bamboo forest, Earth displays beauty that defies logic and awakens awe. To explore these places is to cross the line between reality and dream, where nature becomes ethereal, reminding us that this planet is a living, breathing masterpiece of surreal creation. Bryce Canyon in Utah is not a true canyon, but rather the edge of a plateau sculpted by nature into valleys and fantastic stone towers. At more than 8,000 feet above sea level, it opens into a dazzling scene, like a fossilized city built of light and rock. The highlight of Bryce Canyon is its hoodoos, tens of thousands of limestone and orange-red sandstone spires standing tall in rows that curve along the slopes. Wind, rain, and frost have carved them over millions of years, turning each spire into a natural sculpture of unique form. At sunrise or sunset, the forest of stone glows in orange, red, and pink, making the landscape even more surreal. This area was once the bottom of an ancient lake. Layers of mud, minerals, and geologic shifts created sedimentary rock thousands of feet thick. Later, the uplift of the Colorado Plateau, combined with erosion, unlocked the extraordinary scene we see today. It is a vivid testimony to the power of time and the patience of nature. Today, Bryce Canyon is a national park, attracting millions of visitors. Trails such as the Navajo Loop or Queen's Garden lead hikers through the stone towers, evoking the feeling of walking inside a palace of the gods. At night, the starry sky drapes the city of stone in a mysterious veil, making Bryce Canyon one of the most spectacular places to witness both earth and sky. The Pali coast on the island of Kauai, Hawaii, is one of the most breathtaking shorelines in the world. Stretching for 17 miles, it is defined by towering cliffs that rise more than 4,000 feet, plunging straight into the deep blue ocean, forming a monumental wall of stone that embraces the coast. This landscape was shaped by volcanic activity millions of years ago, then carved by waves and rain into narrow valleys and steep gorges. Between the cliffs, waterfalls tumble in layers directly into the sea. Hidden behind the rock walls are tiny golden beaches that appear only when the tide retreats, making the coastline look like a natural labyrinth. Nepali coast is accessible only by boat, helicopter, or by trekking the 11-mile Kilauea Trail, one of Hawaii's most demanding hikes. Its inaccessibility has preserved Nepali's pristine beauty. From above, the emerald cliffs gleam under the sunlight, mingling with clouds and waves, creating a scene often compared to paradise brought to life. This coast was once home to ancient Hawaiians who cultivated crops in the narrow valleys and lived in isolation from the outside world. Today, those traces blend with rainforests, cliffs, and the sea, turning Nepali coast into a heritage not only of nature, but also of human memory on the ancient island of Hawaii. The White Desert in Egypt is one of the strangest landscapes in the Sahara. Stretching around the Farafra oasis, this land is covered with giant white limestone formations scattered among golden sand, creating a surreal scene unlike anything else. The formations take on many shapes, carved by wind and sandstorms over millions of years. Some resemble giant mushrooms. Others look like chickens, rabbits, or abstract sculptures. Under the sun, they glow as if snow covered in the desert. When the moon rises, the land transforms into a ghostly white sea, making travelers feel as if they are walking on another planet. The limestone base of the White Desert was once the floor of an ancient sea. In the white sand, fossils of shells and corals can still be found, silent witnesses of the region's turbulent geological past. The combination of millions of years of history and the relentless force of the wind has shaped a unique natural masterpiece. Today, the White Desert is preserved as a national park. Campers stay overnight to witness the magical transformation of light, the golden glow of sunset, the silver shimmer of moonlight, and dawn, revealing the chalk towers rising through the desert mist. It is one of the most surreal wonders the Sahara holds. The Skeleton Coast in northern Namibia is one of the wildest and harshest shorelines on Earth. Stretching for hundreds of miles along the Atlantic, it earned its name from countless shipwrecks and animal bones left scattered on the sand. The climate here is full of contradictions. The cold Benguela current collides with the scorching Namib Desert, producing thick fog that blankets the coast nearly year-round. Ships lost in the white haze are easily driven ashore, trapped forever between crashing waves and desert sands. Rusted wrecks, leaning on the beach, stand as grim monuments to this deadly place. Yet amid the harshness, the Skeleton Coast shelters a unique ecosystem. Thousands of seals gather in noisy colonies along the shore, while hyenas and desert lions wander from the Namib to hunt them. Within the signs of death, life still finds a way to persist, turning the coastline into a stark yet vibrant tableau. The Skeleton Coast reminds people of their fragility. Standing before broken hulls, shrouded in fog and the roar of the Atlantic, one understands why it is called the gateway to hell. It is not merely a beach, but a living memory of the ocean's fury and the unyielding power of nature. Hanakapiai Falls lies deep within the Nepali coast of Kauai, Hawaii, and is one of the most impressive waterfalls in the Pacific. From a sheer cliff nearly 300 feet high, a torrent of white water plunges straight into a jade-green pool below, creating a scene both fierce and graceful. To reach Hanakapiai Falls, the only path is trekking along the Kilauea Trail, a rugged route through rainforest, across streams, and over slippery inclines. The journey takes hours and demands effort, but the reward is stepping into a world apart where the only sounds are wind and the distant echo of the falls. Up close, Hanakapiai rises like a massive wall of dark rock, veiled by an endless curtain of water. The pool at its base gleams emerald clear, yet its swift currents and slick stones make swimming dangerous. Many have underestimated the hidden force behind the waterfall's seemingly calm surface. The blend of cascading water, dense jungle, and towering cliffs makes Hanakapiai a symbol of the Nepali coast. It is beauty in its purest form, yet also a reminder that Hawaii's nature still holds a power beyond control, a breathtaking moment where humanity faces the eternal law of mountain and water. Kilauea is a shield volcano on the southeastern coast of Hawaii Island, part of the Hawaiian archipelago in the Pacific Ocean. With an age of about 210,000 to 280,000 years, it is considered one of the youngest volcanoes of the Hawaiian hotspot. Roughly 100,000 years ago, Kilauea rose above sea level, becoming part of the big island we see today. In the Hawaii Emperor Seamount chain, Kilauea serves as the present center of eruptions. Its name comes from the Hawaiian word meaning spreading or spewing, a fitting description of the basaltic lava flows that stretch for miles, slowly running into the sea and constantly reshaping the landscape. The lava from Kilauea not only creates spectacular scenes, but also expands the size of the Big Island. Each flow, once cooled, becomes new land, adding dozens of square miles to the island over the past centuries. A vivid example was in 2018, when molten lava poured directly into the Pacific Ocean, creating the surreal sight of lava meeting the sea, with plumes of white steam rising along the coast. Kilauea is also part of the Pacific Ring of Fire, the great volcanic system encircling the ocean. With its ongoing tectonic power, it embodies both destruction and creation, continuously shaping the face of Hawaii and reminding us of the restless strength of a living planet. Mount Shasta rises to 14,179 feet, making it the second highest volcano in the Cascade Range, just after Mount Rainier. Covering more than 3,860 square miles, this massive mountain can be seen from over 100 miles away on clear days, making it one of the most recognizable peaks of the American West. Its structure is not a single summit. Instead, Shasta consists of 4 overlapping volcanic cones, all dormant, creating a complex shape with one main peak surrounded by several satellite cones. The southern side is distinctive, where Sargent's Ridge runs parallel to the U-shaped Avalanche Gulch, clear evidence of glacial carving in the region. On Mount Shasta's slopes, 7 glaciers have been officially named. Most are concentrated on the northern and eastern flanks, with 4 of them extending from near the summit down to below 10,000 feet. Whitney Glacier is the largest, stretching more than 2 miles, and holds the record as the biggest glacier in California. Beyond its geological and scenic value, Shasta is also tied to legend. Stories tell that beneath the mountain lies Lemuria, the city of a lost civilization. This myth has made Mount Shasta not only a colossal volcano, but also a place where science and mystery blend together. Monument Valley stretches across the border between Utah and Arizona and is one of the most iconic landscapes of the American West. Rising from the flat desert floor, giant red sandstone formations tower more than 1,000 feet high, creating a surreal panorama. These stone towers were shaped over millions of years. The Colorado Plateau was uplifted, then carved by wind, rain, and time. The softer layers eroded away, leaving behind towering beauties and mesas like natural fortresses. The vivid red color comes from iron oxide, making the formations glow brilliantly under the desert sun. For the Navajo people, Monument Valley is sacred ground. They connect it to ancestral legends, seeing the rock formations as fossilized spirits. Today, the valley remains part of Navajo Nation, where tradition and nature blend in a solemn and majestic silence. Monument Valley is also an icon of cinema. Countless westerns and desert road scenes feature its red towers, turning the valley into a timeless symbol of America. At sunset, when the monoliths turn deep purple, it feels like standing before a grand stage crafted by the earth itself. Yosemite National Park in the Sierra Nevada of California is one of the most famous national parks in the world. At its heart lies Yosemite Valley, where sheer granite cliffs embrace a majestic landscape carved by glaciers over millions of years. The icons of Yosemite are El Capitan, a granite wall nearly 3,000 feet tall that challenges the bravest climbers, and Half Dome, a colossal rock dome sliced in half, rising like a giant blade into the sky. At their feet, the Merced River winds through the green valley, mirroring the grandeur of stone and forest. Yosemite is also renowned for its spectacular waterfalls. Yosemite Falls, at 2,425 feet, is the tallest waterfall in North America, plunging in 3 roaring tiers. In spring, when snowmelt surges, the entire valley trembles with its thunder. In winter, ice and snow transform it into a massive crystal curtain. Beyond rock and water, Yosemite preserves groves of ancient sequoias, trees that soar hundreds of feet high and live for more than 1,000 years. Together, they form a natural masterpiece, both powerful and pristine, making Yosemite an immortal symbol of America's landscapes and the shaping force of nature. Phang Nga Bay in southern Thailand is one of the most beautiful bays in the world. Rising from emerald waters, dozens of towering limestone mountains stand upright, creating a scene that is both surreal and overwhelming. These limestone islands were shaped over millions of years of weathering, with sheer cliffs, jagged peaks, and mysterious caves. When the tide recedes, small boats can slip into hidden lagoons inside the cliffs, where sunlight dances on the water like scattered gems. The whole bay feels like a magical labyrinth designed by nature itself. The symbol of Phang Nga Bay is Koh Tapu, better known as James Bond Island, made famous by the man with the golden gun. This slender rock rising vertically from the sea has become the iconic image of the bay. Surrounding it are mangrove forests, tiny beaches, and crystal-clear water, composing a perfect natural canvas. Phang Nga Bay is not only scenery, but also a living world. Fish, birds, green forests, and local fishermen all coexist here. Standing before colossal limestone cliffs mirrored in emerald waters, one cannot help but feel the smallness of humanity against a wonder that is both wild and sublime. Mauna Loa is one of the 5 volcanoes that make up the island of Hawaii. Located in the middle of the Pacific Ocean and part of the state of Hawaii in the United States. It is the largest active volcano on Earth, surpassing all others in both mass and volume, covering nearly half the island. This immense mountain is a shield volcano, with gentle slopes stretching for dozens of miles into the sea. Its summit is only about 125 feet lower than neighboring Mauna Kea, yet its vast area and spread make Mauna Loa one of the most massive geological structures on the planet. Its origin is tied to the Hawaiian hotspot, where the Pacific Plate drifts over a plume of molten rock, building the island through successive layers of lava. Together with 4 other volcanoes, Mauna Loa formed the island of Hawaii. Kohala is the oldest, more than 1 million years in age, while Kilauea is the youngest, at roughly 210,000 to 280,000 years. This variety in ages shows the continuous construction of the Hawaiian hotspot over geologic time. After 38 years of quiet, in November of 2022, Mauna Loa awakened with a major eruption. Rivers of glowing basalt lava poured down its slopes for weeks, flowing at temperatures above 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, powerful enough to incinerate and consume everything in their path. The site reaffirmed that Mauna Loa is not only a colossal mountain, but also one of the most formidable natural forces on Earth. Khao Sok National Park in southern Thailand is one of the oldest tropical rainforests in the world, estimated to be more than 160 million years old, older even than the Amazon. Spanning over 270 square miles, it is a perfect blend of jungle, waterfalls, caves, and towering limestone mountains. The symbol of Khao Sok is Chiao Lan Lake. Rising from emerald waters, limestone towers stand like giant pillars draped in dense green forest. Although the lake was created by a dam, its surreal beauty has made Chiao Lan one of the most striking natural wonders in Southeast Asia. The jungle of Khao Sok is home to rare wildlife. Asian elephants wandering the valleys, gibbons swinging among the treetops, hornbills echoing across the forest, and the elusive shadows of leopards and tigers. At times, the giant Rafflesia kerri blooms, reaching up to 30 inches across, releasing its distinctive scent to attract insects. Khao Sok is not just a park, but a living portrait of time and evolution. Limestone cliffs, deep green waters, ancient forest, and primordial life forms coexist, turning the park into a natural museum, a testimony to the strength and endurance of tropical rainforests. Fiordland in New Zealand is where dark cliffs, more than 4,000 feet high, plunge straight into the deep blue sea, forming one of the most majestic landscapes on Earth. Mist wraps around the peaks, while the still water below mirrors the towering rock walls like a giant natural mirror. Famous fjords such as Milford Sound, Doubtful Sound, and Dusky Sound were carved by ancient glaciers during the Ice Age. When rain pours down, hundreds of waterfalls suddenly appear, cascading from the cliffs into the sea, transforming the valleys into a colossal curtain of water. Behind the cliffs lies dense temperate rainforest, home to kiwi birds, playful alpine parrots known as kia, sunbathing seals on rocky shores, and the rare Hector's dolphins swimming in fjord waters. Fiordland is a self-contained ecosystem where life has adapted to extreme conditions. The region is drenched in constant rain, with thick clouds and mist creating a mysterious atmosphere. On rare sunny days, light breaks through the clouds, cliffs glow, and waterfalls sparkle. In those moments, Fiordland emerges like a surviving fragment of an ancient world where nature still reigns supreme. Svartifoss in Iceland stands out in Vatnajökull National Park, where a white stream of water drops 65 feet into a dark gorge framed by black hexagonal basalt columns. The site has earned it the name Black Falls. The basalt columns rise like the pipes of a giant organ, formed when lava cooled and cracked into perfect hexagons. Though the waterfall is modest in size, its plunge at the center of the cliff creates a striking contrast against the dark stone, one of Iceland's most surreal landscapes, where fire and ice meet to create art. Svartifoss is not only a natural wonder, but also a source of inspiration for Icelandic architecture. Hallgrímskirkja Church in Reykjavik, the country's iconic landmark, was directly inspired by the basalt columns around the falls. Here, nature is more than beauty. It has imprinted itself into culture and art. The journey to Svartifoss begins with a hiking trail through birch woods and small streams. As the sound of rushing water grows louder, the white curtain emerges from the black cliffs. In that moment, visitors feel as though they are standing before a vast natural cathedral where nature alone is the architect. Gullfoss in Iceland pours from the Vita River, tumbling over two massive rock steps before plunging into a deep canyon. The roaring white water often catches the sunlight, creating vivid rainbows that have earned it the name Golden Falls. The waterfall drops more than 100 feet in total, divided into two tiers. The upper falls, slanting 36 feet, then breaking into a straight plunge of 69 feet. During floods, thousands of cubic feet of water crash down every second, filling the valley with mist and thunderous echoes. Gullfoss is also tied to Iceland's conservation history. In the early 20th century, plans arose to harness the falls for hydroelectric power. Thanks to the efforts of Sigridur Tómasdóttir, the daughter of a local farmer, the project was stopped and the falls preserved. Her struggle made her one of Iceland's pioneers in nature protection. Today, Gullfoss is a highlight of the Golden Circle, along with Geyser and Thingvellir. Standing on the canyon's edge, with the thunderous water roaring below and rainbows rising from the mist, one feels the raw power and beauty that make Gullfoss one of the greatest waterfalls on Earth. Skógafoss in Iceland plunges 200 feet straight from a cliff, forming a white curtain nearly 80 feet wide. From afar, the thunder of the falls drowns out the sea breeze, while mist rises and blankets the entire Skóga Valley in a dreamy haze. The Skóga River flows across the highlands before suddenly dropping, creating one of Iceland's most powerful waterfalls. The flow is so strong that when sunlight breaks through, rainbows almost always appear in the mist. On special days, a double rainbow can be seen, giving Skógafoss the title of the Waterfall of Rainbows. Local legend tells that a Viking chieftain named Thrasi Thorolfsson hid a chest of gold behind the falls. Villagers once found the treasure, but only managed to retrieve the ring of the chest, now displayed in the Skóga Museum. This tale adds to the mystery, making Skógafoss not only a natural wonder, but also a keeper of old stories. A steep path to the right of the falls leads to an overlook where the Skóga River winds across the highlands. But standing at the base, where the water crashes almost to your feet, one feels as if facing a colossal wall of water, both ferocious and mesmerizing. Thingvellir National Park in Iceland stretches across a rift valley between the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates, where the Earth is torn apart into massive fissures. Walking here, visitors feel as though they are stepping right between the boundaries of continents. The landscape of Thingvellir has been shaped by tectonic activity and lava over thousands of years. Sheer cliffs, deep valleys, and cracks filled with crystal-clear water create a scene that is both dramatic and breathtaking. The most famous of these is the Silfra Fissure, a submerged rift glowing blue where divers can swim between two continents with visibility extending over 300 feet. Beyond geology, Thingvellir holds historic importance. In the year 930, Icelanders established Alþingi, the world's first parliament, on the plain within the valley. It was here that major events in Iceland's history were decided, binding the nation's natural landscape with its cultural identity. Today, Thingvellir is a key stop on the Golden Circle, along with Gullfoss and Geysir, attracting millions of visitors each year. Amid the dark cliffs, clear lakes, and wide-open plains, Thingvellir stands as both a geological wonder and a spiritual emblem of Iceland. El Peñón de Guatapé in Colombia rise about 650 feet above the artificial lakes of Antioquia, like a massive stone fortress emerging from the earth. Against the backdrop of emerald water and small scattered islands, the grey monolith stands as a natural stronghold. This granite block was formed millions of years ago through deep geological shifts. Its cracked surface bears the marks of time, while the largest fissure running along its face was transformed into the famous zigzag staircase of 740 steps. That path leads straight to the summit, where the panoramic view of Guatapé Lake unfolds in all its splendor. At the top, more than 7,000 feet above sea level, lies an observation deck with a full 360-degree view. The vast lake system, created after the hydroelectric dam in the 1970s, stretches like a shimmering maze of peninsulas and small islands. Many consider this one of the most breathtaking views in all of Colombia. El Peñón de Guatapé is not only a challenge of climbing steps, but also a place where nature, history, and local culture converge. Standing at the summit, swept by strong winds and surrounded by endless horizons, visitors feel as if they are touching the mighty heart of Antioquia. Plitvice Lakes National Park in Croatia is a natural labyrinth where 16 crystal-clear lakes are linked by hundreds of foaming waterfalls. Nestled in the Dinaric Alps, the entire park appears like a living painting of water, stone, and forest. The Plitvice Lakes were formed by travertine deposits, a special kind of limestone created by algae and moss over thousands of years. These natural terraces divide the flow into countless waterfalls, from the towering 256-foot Veliki Slap to delicate curtains of mist. Each lake shines with its own color, deep blue, emerald green, or golden hues, depending on light and minerals. The scenery of Plitvice shifts with the seasons. In spring and summer, lush green forests embrace the transparent lakes. In autumn, golden and red leaves mirror on the water. And in winter, the entire landscape freezes into a surreal icy kingdom. This constant transformation ensures the place feels new, even to those who return again and again. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1979, Plitvice is both a natural wonder and a symbol of fragile balance. Walking the wooden paths above the water, visitors witness not only the spectacular beauty of waterfalls, but also the eternal life flowing through every cascade. Zlatni Rat in Croatia stretches from the coast of Brač Island into the Adriatic Sea like a golden arrow of sand, reaching nearly 1,600 feet into turquoise waters. The beach has a unique triangular shape that constantly shifts with the wind and currents, making every view slightly different. The Zlatni Rat spit is formed from millions of small, light-colored pebbles accumulated over thousands of years under the influence of waves and wind. When strong winds blow from the north or south, the tip of the sandbar bends gently to one side, turning the beach into a living sculpture shaped by nature. Around Zlatni Rat, the crystal-clear Adriatic reveals many shades of blue, deep navy in the distance, bright emerald near the shore. Ancient pine trees line the edge of the sand, creating natural shade and forming a striking contrast between green foliage and golden pebbles. Today, Zlatni Rat is not only the symbol of Brač, but also one of the most famous beaches in the Mediterranean. Its beauty, both timeless and ever-changing, has earned it the name Golden Horn, a place where nature endlessly redraws its own masterpiece. The Pinnacles stretch across the Nambung Desert in Western Australia, where thousands of sharp limestone pillars rise from golden sands, creating a landscape both surreal and otherworldly. Under the sunlight, their shadows stretch long across the dunes, turning the desert into a mysterious labyrinth of stone figures. These pillars range in height from just a few inches to more than 13 feet, formed from ancient seashells when this area was once covered by the ocean hundreds of thousands of years ago. As the sea receded, wind and time eroded the ground, leaving behind jagged limestone spires. Many resemble spears, fortresses, or fossilized creatures frozen in stone amid the desert. The scenery of the Pinnacles transforms dramatically with the light. In the morning, the pillars glow golden against a deep blue sky. By afternoon, they blaze red beneath the sunset. And at night, the desert sinks into darkness with the Milky Way glittering overhead, making the place feel like another planet. Located within Nambong National Park, about 125 miles from Perth, visitors can drive along winding trails or walk among the pillars to experience the eerie silence. This is not only a geological wonder, but also a journey through Earth's history where sea, desert, and time have carved a masterpiece together. Deadvlei in Namibia appears like a surreal painting, a cracked white clay pan. Dark skeletons of acacia trees reaching their bare branches, and towering red dunes rising more than 980 feet around it. Under the blazing sun, the landscape resembles another planet. About 900 years ago, this was once a valley filled with water when the Sochab River overflowed, allowing trees to thrive. But when the river changed course, the water vanished, leaving behind a hardened clay basin. The trees died where they stood, their remains never decaying in the extreme dryness, becoming silent ghosts frozen in time. Encircling Deadvlei are the famous red dunes of the Namib, including Big Daddy, which rises nearly 1,067 feet and is considered one of the tallest dunes in the world. From the summit, Deadvlei looks like a painting, a patch of white ground, black trees, and fiery red sand merging into breathtaking contrast. Today, Deadvlei has become an icon of Namibia. Photographers from all over the world come here to capture its unique scenery, where time seems to stand still. Standing in the pan, amid the absolute silence of the desert, one feels as though they have stepped into a surreal dream, where nature reveals a beauty and power beyond imagination. Sossusvlei stretches out like an endless sea of red sand, where dunes soar 300 to 400 meters high beneath a deep blue sky. In the blazing sunlight, the fiery red sands form a surreal landscape, standing out in the heart of the world's oldest desert. The name Sossusvlei means dead-end marsh, once the point where the Khao River pooled. Yet in the arid climate of the Namib, the basin rarely holds water, leaving a flat, white salt pan among towering dunes. On rare occasions when rain falls, the basin fills temporarily, transforming Sossusvlei into a giant mirror, reflecting the desert. What makes this place extraordinary are the massive dunes that shift in shades of red and orange throughout the day. In the morning, the sands glow like embers. At midday, they turn golden. And at sunset, the valley is bathed in mesmerizing hues of red and violet. Famous dunes like Big Daddy and Dune 45 attract climbers eager to conquer their immense height for sweeping views of the Namib Desert. Sossusvlei is not only a symbol of Namibia, but also of time and endurance. Each grain of sand here carries millions of years of history, blown by the wind and gathered into living mountains. Standing in Sossusvlei, one can feel the eternity of the desert and the smallness of humankind. Kelimutu lakes sit atop the Kelimutu volcano on Flores Island, where three crater lakes lie side by side but display strikingly different colors: deep blue, turquoise, brown, and even black. This mysterious shifting of hues has made it one of the world's most unique volcanic phenomena. The three lakes are named in the local tradition: Tiwu Ata Mbupu, the Lake of Old People, Tiwu Nua Murikufai, the Lake of Young People, and Tiwu Atapolo, the Lake of Evil Spirits. Each name carries meaning tied to the beliefs of the Leo people, blending the landscape with layers of legend and myth. The cause of the color changes lies in volcanic and chemical activity. Minerals, volcanic gases, and the oxidation of iron constantly alter the water, so the hues may shift with the seasons or even within just a few weeks. Because of this, Kelimutu is often called a living palette of colors perched atop a volcano. From the summit of Kelimutu at more than 5,200 feet above sea level, visitors look down on three lakes of three completely different colors lying close together, an extremely rare sight on Earth. At sunrise, as sunlight strikes the lakes, Kelimutu becomes not just a natural wonder, but a gateway into the mythic world of Flores Island. The cenotes of the Yucatan in Mexico open like gateways into the earth, where turquoise water sparkles beneath the tropical forest. Across the Yucatan Peninsula, there are more than 10,000 cenotes, water-filled limestone sinkholes that form an underground world of wonder. Cenotes were formed millions of years ago as rain and underground rivers dissolved the limestone bedrock, creating hollow caverns. When their roofs collapsed, deep pools of crystal-clear water appeared, connected to a vast network of underground rivers, stretching for hundreds of miles, one of the largest freshwater systems on Earth. For the ancient Maya, cenotes were sacred sources of life in a dry land. They used the water for survival and believed the cenotes were portals to Xibalba, the underworld in their mythology. Some cenotes even served as sites of sacrifice, where archaeologists have found pottery, gold, and human remains. Today, cenotes are popular destinations for travelers, swimming in emerald pools beneath stone ceilings, draped with tree roots, diving to explore submerged caves, or simply watching shafts of sunlight dance across the water. The cenotes of the Yucatan are not only geological wonders, but also places where history, spirituality, and nature merge into a hidden world of mystery. Meteora in Greece is a land where sandstone pillars soar more than 1,300 feet above the Thessaly Valley, crowned by ancient monasteries perched between earth and sky. The site gives Meteora a surreal beauty, like a suspended city floating in the air. These towering rock formations were created about 60 million years ago when the sea receded and flowing waters carved out a forest of stone columns. In the 14th century, hermit monks came here, building monasteries on the summits to escape wars and live closer to God. At first, they climbed with rope ladders and pulleys. Today, stone stairways provide access, yet the sense of isolation remains. At its height, Meteora had 24 monasteries, though now only 6 remain active. Among them, the Great Meteoron stands as the largest, while Varlam is known for its vivid frescoes. Each structure blends seamlessly with the cliffs, standing as a testament to human devotion and creativity. Now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Meteora is both a place of pilgrimage and a unique travel destination. Standing in the valley, gazing up at monasteries balanced on the cliffs, one sees not only a geological wonder, but also the spiritual force that led humans to conquer places once thought impossible. Santorini Island rises like a white and blue crescent shining across the Aegean Sea. Whitewashed houses cling to the cliffs, their blue domes gleaming in the sunlight, creating one of the most romantic scenes in the world. The island is the remnant of a massive volcano that erupted violently about 3,600 years ago. The Minoan eruption destroyed much of the island, forming a giant sunken caldera, today's Santorini Bay. That event not only reshaped the landscape, but also contributed to the decline of the Minoan civilization, leaving behind one of history's great mysteries. Today, the flooded caldera is a fascinating destination. Visitors can sail to the small islets within the bay, where volcanic smoke and hot springs still rise, reminders that Santorini is a living volcano. The cliffs display striking layers of red, black, and yellow stone, each telling the story of ancient lava flows. But Santorini is more than the memory of disaster. It is also a symbol of rebirth. Fishing villages transformed into bustling towns, and barren slopes turned into vineyards, producing the famous Assyrtiko wine. Standing on a balcony at Oya, watching the island glow in orange and purple sunset light, one understands why Santorini is forever celebrated as the Jewel of Greece. Zakynthos emerges with shimmering turquoise waters, sheer white cliffs, and golden sand tucked into narrow bays. Its most famous spot is Navaggio Beach, where the shipwreck of the Panayotis has rested since the 1980s, becoming one of the Mediterranean's most iconic scenes. This Ionian island reveals sharp contrasts in its landscape. The east is lined with gentle beaches and quiet fishing villages, while the west and north are dominated by massive limestone cliffs plunging straight into the deep sea. This dramatic opposition makes Zakynthos a place where the scenery changes spectacularly within only a few miles. Beyond Navaggio, Zakynthos is also home to the Blue Caves, natural sea caverns where sunlight transforms the water into surreal shades of blue. The island is a crucial nesting ground for the endangered caretta sea turtle. On its long beaches, the sight of mother turtles coming ashore to lay eggs is part of a timeless natural story that has continued for thousands of years. Zakynthos is both a paradise for travelers and a meeting point of wild nature and modern legend. From the cliffs above Navaggio at sunset, visitors see not only breathtaking beauty, but also feel that this island is a masterpiece, carved by nature just for Greece. The Honghe rice terraces in China stretch like colossal steps across the slopes of the Ilao Mountains, from about 500 feet up to nearly 6,000 feet above sea level. Tens of thousands of terraces curve along the mountainsides, reflecting sky and clouds like a vast ocean of mirrors. This masterpiece was created by the Hani people over more than 1,300 years. Through ingenious irrigation systems, channeling water from forested mountaintops down to every terrace, they transformed steep mountains into fertile rice fields. The harmony of land, water, forest, and villages stands as a testament to the sustainable bond between humans and nature. The scenery shifts dramatically with the seasons. During the water-filling season, the terraces become mirrors of the heavens. In the growing season, the hills glow green with young rice. At harvest, the slopes turn golden like endless waves of grain. Sunrise and sunset paint the terraces in red and gold light, creating a dreamlike spectacle. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2013, the Honghe rice terraces are not only an impressive landscape, but also a living cultural heritage. Here, nature, labor, and belief merge, a canvas where humans are not mere conquerors, but artists co-creating with the earth and sky. Jiangye in China stretches across the land like a giant rainbow, where ranges of mountains glow in vivid reds, oranges, yellows, and blues, creating a landscape that feels as if it has stepped out of a surreal painting. This scenery was shaped from layers of sandstone and minerals deposited for more than 24 million years. Wind and rain eroded the rocks into rolling hills, revealing dazzling stripes of color. Iron minerals brought out the reds, while copper and manganese gave shades of blue and yellow, turning the region into nature's enormous color palette. Light transforms Zhangye into a constantly changing painting. In the morning, the mountains shine with bright orange and yellow. By afternoon, slanted sunlight sets the slopes ablaze in red, and at sunset, the range melts into mystical hues of pink and purple. Each moment here feels entirely unique. Located in Gansu province, Zhangye is now a celebrated destination, attracting thousands of travelers and photographers. Standing among the colorful, rippling valleys, one feels transported to a distant planet where nature has spent millions of years crafting an unbelievable masterpiece. Cappadocia in Turkey unfolds like a fairy tale world, where mushroom-shaped pillars, spires, and rippling valleys stretch endlessly. From above, hundreds of colorful hot air balloons float across the sky, turning the surreal landscape into a living painting. This strange terrain was formed from volcanic ash and tuff that erupted millions of years ago. Wind and rain eroded the soft rock, leaving tall stone columns known as fairy chimneys. Over thousands of years, people carved into them, creating homes, churches, and monasteries hidden inside the stone, transforming nature into living architecture. Beneath the ground, Cappadocia hides vast underground cities such as Derinkuyu and Kaimakli. These structures once sheltered thousands of people during invasions, complete with ventilation shafts, wells, and even stables, testament to the resilience and extraordinary ingenuity of the region's inhabitants. Today, Cappadocia is a living heritage where past and present blend together. Standing in a valley of golden orange stone at sunset, watching the silhouettes of balloons drift across the horizon, one feels as though they are on another planet, where nature and history together have written a legend. The Lofoten Islands rise like a string of green jewels in the Norwegian Sea, where sharp peaks thrust straight up from the water and red fishing villages dot the fjords. The view is both wild and serene, like a living Nordic painting. The archipelago is famous for its unique blend of high mountains and deep seas. Granite cliffs plunge into blue waters, while white sandy beaches stretch right at the foot of the peaks. This striking contrast makes Lofoten one of the most dramatic coastal landscapes in Europe. Its climate creates extraordinary experiences. In summer, the sun never sets for weeks, while in winter, the northern lights dance across the sky in green and purple arcs. This play of light gives Lofoten a beauty both majestic and mysteriously unforgettable. For centuries, the people of Lofoten have lived from the sea, especially cod fishing. The red wooden rawbu cabins once used by fishermen are now guest houses for travelers. Standing on a wooden pier, gazing out at the North Sea with wind and waves all around, one feels the deep bond between people and nature in this northern land. The Dolomites in Italy rise like colossal stone walls, their jagged peaks and silver-grey cliffs standing stark against the blue sky. They are among the most spectacular ranges of the Alps, famed for their surreal beauty at sunset when the entire massif glows red, a phenomenon Italians call enrossadira. The range is built from dolomite rock, ancient marine limestone formed more than 200 million years ago. Over millennia of uplift and erosion, these became towering spires and sharp peaks. Famous landmarks such as Tre Cime di Lavaredo, Marmolada, and the Sella Group embody this grandeur, each peak carved into its own unique silhouette. Nature in the Dolomites changes with the seasons. In summer, meadows bloom with wildflowers. In autumn, slopes blaze with gold and crimson. In winter, the entire range transforms into a white wonderland. This ever-changing beauty makes the Dolomites a year-round destination, from hiking and climbing to skiing and ice climbing. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Dolomites are not only a geological marvel, but also a cultural treasure. Tyrolean villages, ancient trails, and traditional cuisine weave together with the mountains to form a living landscape. Standing amid the Dolomites, one feels small before the timeless yet gentle power of stone. Cinque Terre in Italy stretches along the Ligurian coast with 5 small villages: Monterosso al Mare, Vernazza, Corniglia, Manarola, and Rio Maggiore. From afar, they appear as colorful clusters stacked on steep cliffs, mirrored on the deep blue sea below. For centuries, locals carved terraces into the rocky slopes to grow grapes and olives. Narrow alleys weave through multicolored houses, vineyards, and the turquoise sea. This harmony between human effort and nature created the unique landscape that Cinque Terre still preserves today. Each village has its own charm. Monterosso with its long beach, Vernazza with its crescent-shaped harbor, Corniglia perched high above the cliffs, Manarola glowing with pastel houses, and Rio Maggiore bursting with colors facing the sea. Coastal trails link the villages, offering a breathtaking hike between cliffs and waves. As a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Cinque Terre is not only beautiful for its architecture and seascapes, but also as a testament to human resilience against harsh terrain. At sunset, golden and red light bathes the cliffside villages, turning Cinque Terre into an unforgettable Mediterranean painting. The Faroe Islands, Denmark, rise like a labyrinth of mountains and sea between Iceland and Norway. Towering black cliffs hundreds of feet high, green meadows stretching to the edge of the ocean, and turf-roofed red houses create a scene both wild and dreamlike. The archipelago consists of 18 islands, shaped from ancient volcanic lava. Over millions of years, wind and waves carved them into deep fjords, sharp headlands, and cliffs plunging straight into the sea. One of the most iconic sights is Gullfoss waterfall in the village of Guatapé, where a white cascade drops directly from grassy fields into the Atlantic. The climate here is harsh and unpredictable. One moment the sky is clear and bright, the next it is covered with dark clouds and mist, transforming the islands into a mystical world. Summers bring endless daylight, while winters sink into long darkness, sometimes illuminated by the shimmering northern lights. Life on the Faroe Islands remains tied to the sea. Small villages tucked into fjords preserve the tradition of wooden, grass-roofed houses. Standing on a cliff, watching waves crash against the rocks, one feels both the fierce power of the ocean and the resilience of the people who have endured life on this North Atlantic frontier. Skellig Ireland rises from the Atlantic like a massive stone pyramid, about 8 miles off the coast of Kerry. Sheer cliffs soar more than 600 feet, while relentless waves crash below, giving the island an aura of solitude and mystery. From the 6th century, Christian monks sought this place, building a monastery of dry stone on the summit. Beehive-shaped huts, a small church, and stairways carved into the rock still stand today. For centuries, the monks lived in seclusion among sea winds and fog, believing this place to be a doorway closer to God. The path to the top of Skellig consists of more than 600 narrow steps clinging to the cliffs without railings. The arduous climb leads visitors past towering walls and flocks of puffins before reaching the ancient monastery at the summit. Its isolation has preserved it as one of the most remote monastic sites in Europe. Today, Skellig is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and has even appeared in Star Wars, though its beauty transcends cinema. Standing atop the peak, with icy winds and roaring seas below, one feels the extraordinary union of raw nature and enduring human faith. Halong Bay stretches across the Gulf of Tonkin, with more than 1,600 limestone islands rising from the emerald water. Strange rock formations covered in greenery reflect the shimmering light of the bay, creating a surreal landscape as if born from legend. This scenery was shaped over millions of years through weathering and erosion. The sea and wind carved the limestone into sharp towers, vaulted caves, and unique hollows. Many islands still hide magnificent caverns such as Sung Sot Cave and Thien Kung Cave, where glittering stalactites sparkle in the shadows, creating an otherworldly spectacle. Beyond geological beauty, Ha Long is tied to legend. The Vietnamese tell of a mother dragon and her offspring descending, releasing pearls and jade that became the stone islands protecting the land. The name Ha Long, meaning descending dragon, has made the bay a symbol that is both real and mythical. A journey aboard wooden sailboats, weaving between the green-clad islands, gives visitors the feeling of drifting through a giant watercolor painting. When mist drapes over the sea and gentle waves lap the hull, Ha Long emerges both majestic and dreamlike, like an endless seascape that never fades. Mu Cang Chai, Vietnam rises with sweeping rice terraces layered along the slopes of the Hoang Lien Son Mountains. When the harvest season comes, the entire valley glows golden, like waves of rice cascading across the hills, creating one of the most stunning scenes of the Northern Highlands. The Hmong people created these terraces hundreds of years ago. On steep mountain slopes, They skillfully carved the earth into steps, channeling water from streams to nourish the fields. The harmony between mountains, clouds, and human labor turned this land into a masterpiece that is both practical and poetic. The landscape of Mu Chang Chai changes with each season. In the water season, the terraces shimmer silver, reflecting the sky. During the green months, the rice stretches like an emerald carpet. And in the golden season, the slopes blaze with light, blending with the sound of flutes and songs of the Hmong welcoming the harvest. Each moment paints a different picture, yet all are full of life. From Khao Pass, the terraces curve along the mountains like an endless flowing river. In the vast space, with the wind rushing through the fields and the fragrance of ripened rice spreading in the air, Mu Chang Chai appears not only as farmland, but as an epic poem of the land and its people. Torres del Paine rises in Patagonia with 3 colossal granite towers standing tall above glaciers and turquoise lakes. The site is both fierce and surreal, making this place a true symbol of southern Chile. The Paine Range was formed from the collision of granite and sedimentary rock, creating vertical peaks nearly 10,000 feet high. Below, the Grey Glacier crawls slowly through the valley, while lakes such as Peñón and Nordenskjöld shine with vivid blue tones. This contrast creates a natural masterpiece of extremes. Patagonian weather is harsh and ever-changing. Sun, rain, wind, and snow can all appear in a single day. Yet this is what makes the scenery alive. At sunrise, Torres del Paine glows orange and red, while in the evening, the mountains cast shadows over still waters that mirror them like a giant canvas. Torres del Paine is not only about mountains and ice, but also a sanctuary for wildlife. Herds of guanacos graze the plains, eagles circle above the peaks, and elusive pumas move silently through the forests. Amidst this vast grandeur, humans are only tiny visitors, witnessing the raw power of nature at the edge of the world. Bagan stretches across a vast plain where more than 2,000 temples, stupas, and monasteries rise from the dry earth. At sunrise, when the mist fades and hot air balloons drift above, the entire complex appears like an endless sea of gold and red brick. From the 9th century to the 13th century, Bagan was the capital of the pagan kingdom, the most flourishing Buddhist center in Southeast Asia. At its height, more than 10,000 religious monuments were built. Although many temples were damaged by time and earthquakes, the remains still tell the story of a glorious civilization. Each temple in Bagan has its own style. Shwezigon with its radiant golden roof, Ananda with 4 giant Buddha statues, or Thatbiyinyu rising high above the horizon. As the sun shifts, red bricks and golden spires reflect shades of orange, pink, and purple, turning Bagan into a living painting. Today, Bagan is both a spiritual and tourist destination. Standing on the terrace of an ancient stupa, watching balloons float across a sea of temples, one feels the enduring power of faith that built a monumental religious city, a timeless wonder. The Okavango Delta in Botswana stretches out like a vast maze of rivers and wetlands in the middle of the Kalahari Desert. Each year, the Okavango River flows south from the highlands of Angola, and instead of reaching the ocean, it disappears into the desert, creating one of the largest inland deltas on Earth. This strange phenomenon turns the Okavango into a giant oasis. When the floodwaters arrive during the dry season, thousands of square miles of arid land suddenly fill with blue water, trees flourish, and the grasslands burst with life. It is then that wildlife gathers here. Herds of hundreds of elephants, buffalo, zebras, antelopes, and countless bird species. The Okavango is also home to some of Africa's most powerful predators. Lions, leopards, hyenas, and African wild dogs stalk the grassy edges. Crocodiles lurk in the swamps. Hippos wallow in the water. This unique water cycle has made the delta one of the most biologically diverse ecosystems on the continent. People in Botswana call the Okavango the heart of the wild. Sitting in a mokoro, the traditional dugout canoe, drifting along the channels, visitors enter a primordial world where life thrives in the middle of the desert. It is not just a wetland, but a miracle of nature blooming in the heart of Africa. The Sahara Desert in Africa covers more than 9 million square miles, taking up nearly 1/3 of the continent. From above, it looks like an endless ocean of golden sand, where dunes as high as 600 feet rise and fall like frozen waves. But the Sahara is not only sand. Beyond the vast seas of dunes like Erg Chebi or Erg Chigaga, there are rocky mountains, barren plateaus, and even gravel plains stretching to the horizon. Scattered within the arid land are green oases where date palms grow in clusters, and underground water has sustained human communities for thousands of years. The Sahara's climate is extremely harsh. Daytime temperatures can climb above 120 degrees Fahrenheit, while nights drop to freezing cold. Desert winds whip up blinding sandstorms that can cover the horizon. Yet life still thrives here. Camels, fennec foxes, sand vipers, and nomadic tribes like the Tuareg, the children of the desert. The Sahara has also been a historic trade corridor. Camel caravans once traveled thousands of miles, carrying salt, gold, ivory, and culture, linking Africa to the Mediterranean and the Middle East. Today, standing in the Sahara at sunset, one feels the boundless power of nature, both fierce and eternal. Bamboo forest in Arashiyama, Kyoto, is one of the most enchanting natural landscapes in Japan. The path stretches for several hundred yards through towering bamboo, where thousands of green stalks rise toward the sky, forming a living canopy that shifts colors with the sunlight. What makes bamboo forest remarkable is not only its vision, but also its sound. When the wind passes through, the bamboo strikes together, creating a deep, resonant harmony like a natural orchestra. This soundscape has been listed by Japan's Ministry of the Environment among the 100 sounds to be preserved. Walking along the path, one feels transported into a separate world, where time slows and nature itself begins to speak. Hiroshiyama's bamboo grove is not just a scenic spot, but also deeply tied to Japanese culture. For centuries, bamboo has symbolized resilience and purity in spiritual life. This area is also near ancient temples such as Tenryuji, a place where human heritage and natural beauty converge in perfect harmony. Bamboo forest offers more than a visual experience. It is a place to listen, to feel one's own smallness in the midst of tranquil nature, and to realize that grandeur does not always come from soaring mountains, but from thousands of bamboo stalks blending together into an endless green symphony. Lake Bled, Slovenia emerges like a green jewel in the Alps. The still surface of the lake reflects mountains and sky, while at its center rises a small island with a church tower pointing upward. The scenery feels as if it has stepped out of a fairy tale painting. The water is crystal clear, shifting in color with the light, sometimes emerald, sometimes sapphire, and at times shimmering silver under the sun. In the early morning, mist covers the surface, only to fade and reveal the island with its bell tower as though a dream has just unfolded. The distant toll of bells adds an air of mystery. Encircling the lake are deep green forests, and Bled Castle perched high upon a cliff. From above, the view is complete. The island, like a heart floating on water, the white-belled tower standing out amid the green. Each angle offers a different perspective, peaceful yet surreal. Experiencing Lake Bled is a slow journey. A wooden Pletna boat glides across the calm water, carrying visitors to the island. Climbing the ancient stone steps to the church, one realizes that Lake Bled is not just a lake, but a quiet dream nestled among the mountains. The Swiss Alps rise like an immense wall of rock and ice, their snow-covered peaks shining white throughout the year. Jagged summits soar above 13,000 feet, catching the sunlight and creating a landscape at once majestic and surreal. Between the mountains, green valleys open like hidden oases. The Aletsch Glacier flows slowly, leaving behind deep blue streaks of ice, while lakes, such as Wischinen and Bachalpsee, sparkle at the foot of the peaks. The contrast of white snow, grey stone, and green meadows turns the Alps into a vivid canvas of nature. In winter, the Swiss Alps become a frozen world, where cold winds sweep across ridges and pine forests lie heavy with frost. In summer, melting ice transforms into waterfalls, plunging down cliffs. Wildflowers burst into bloom, and cowbells echo through the valleys. Each season paints a different face, yet all are full of life. Experiencing the Alps is not only about climbing or skiing, but about standing between sky and earth, feeling small before the vastness of nature. Looking out over the snowy horizon, one understands why the Swiss Alps remain an eternal symbol of mountain beauty. The Vatnajökull ice caves, hidden within Europe's largest glacier, are where light, ice, and time merge into a surreal world. Located in southeastern Iceland, these caves form each winter as meltwater carves deep into hundreds of feet of glacial ice, creating translucent corridors glowing in crystal blue. Inside, the sounds of the world disappear. Only the gentle drip of water and the whisper of wind sliding through the ice remain. Sunlight filters through the glassy dome, bathing the space in a cold, ethereal blue, as if walking through the heart of a giant gemstone. Each year, as the glacier shifts, the caves transform. No two winters are alike, and no passage ever holds the same shape twice. The most famous chambers, such as the Crystal Cave and Anaconda Cave, rise more than 30 feet high, their translucent walls revealing ancient air bubbles trapped thousands of years ago. Beneath the ice lies the memory of climate and time, every pale streak, a frozen winter preserved forever. The Vatnajökull ice caves are not just a natural wonder, but also a metaphor for Earth's fragility. As sunlight reflects through the thick ice, one sees absolute beauty, and also hears the faint melting sound of a planet quietly changing day by day.